All right, so I'm just going to do some applications for this one, just to give you more to see. So with any application, and remember, we're only using the natural number and the natural log, all right, because these are inverse operations. So after you've set up your problem, if you're starting with an E, in order to solve it, you have to use ln. If you're starting with ln, in order to solve it, you have to use E, because they undo each other, okay? So here's another example. So Stan takes out an $800 student loan in 3 years, and after making no payments, but accruing interest continuously, he owes $1,100. What's the rate of interest that Stan is being charged? So here's the scenario. He took out a loan for $800. He has not made any payments, all right? After 3 years, now he owes $1,100. So that difference of $300, that means that he was charged $300 in order to borrow that money, okay? So the question is, what is the rate of interest? Where did that $300 come from? What was the rate of interest that he was being charged? Okay, now this happens a lot with student loans. They defer the payment, maybe they don't make a full payment, and so from the moment you get your student loans, you are being charged interest. Even though they say you don't have to make a payment for 6 months after you graduate. That's true, but the interest is still being accrued, okay? So you are being charged for borrowing the money, but you don't have to make a payment on it, okay? All right, so here we go. Because we see the term continuous, we know we are using our continuously compounded interest formula. The A is the ending amount, the P is the beginning amount, the R is the rate, and T is time. So with this scenario, he took out an $800 loan. He ended with $1,100 owed. The time was 3 years. We are looking for the rate, okay? So we're just going to plug in our values. So 1,100 equals 800 E raised to the R times 3, okay? So you know how to solve it. You're going to divide both sides by 800. So you get 1,100 divided by 800 is 1.375 equals E raised, and I'm just going to flip this because most people like to see the number first. So R times 3 is the same as 3 times R. My unknown is in my exponent. That means I need to get rid of the E, so I'm going to ln both sides. So I have ln of 1.375 equals, that undoes each other, 3R, divide by 3, and I get my rate. So you're going to come back, do ln of 1.375, close your parentheses, divided by 3, and your R is 0.10615. We are rounding to 2 places. The 6 makes the 0 go up 1, so your rate is about 0.11, which equals 11%. So whenever you're going from a decimal to a percent, just move your decimal point twice to the right. It's like as if you're multiplying by 100. So he was being charged 11% on this loan. Okay? All right, last one. All right, so Jill wants to invest some money for her new nephew. She finds a CD that will pay 4.25% interest compounded continuously for the next 20 years. So we see the word continuous, so I know I am using the continuous compound interest. She finds a CD that will pay 4.25%, so there's my rate. I'm going to change it to a decimal, which means I'm going to move my decimal to the left twice. The time is We don't know. 20 years. It tells us the time, 20 years. If she wants the future value of the CD to be 5,000. So future value, that means that's the ending amount. Okay, so our A, the future value is going to be 5,000. How much does she need to initially deposit? So what does she need to begin with? So we are looking for P. So it's always a good idea to list what the parts are, because then it's very easy just to plug it into your formula. So 5,000 equals P is what we're looking for, E raised to the 0.0425 times 20. Okay, so in this case, our unknown is the P. Okay, that's our unknown. So what we're going to do is we are going to get rid of this number. Remember, E is a number. So we are going to divide both sides by E raised, and I can go ahead and get that. 0.0425 times 20 is 0.85. Okay, so all I did is I just multiplied that and got 0.85. I'm going to divide both sides by E raised to the 0.85. That cancels that. So the P equals 5,000 divided by E raised to the 0.85. Use your calculator. And I get 2137.074. Again, what does my answer mean? This is the amount that I need to start with. I need to invest my beginning amount in order to have $5,000 in an account for her nephew 20 years later. So the 4 rounding, the 4 makes the 7 stay the same. So I need to start with $2,137.07. And that will grow to $5,000 when I have an interest rate of 4.25%. Okay, that's all.